The world has just witnessed another audacious move from Beijing. Xi Jinping has unveiled China's hand in Nicaragua's $50 billion interoceanic canal. This is no mere infrastructure project. It is a calculated gambit. China seeks to project its power deep into America's traditional sphere of influence. The announcement signals Beijing's direct command. This canal is a strategic dagger aimed at the heart of Western interests. China is not a benevolent partner. It is a relentless competitor. This Nicaraguan canal scheme is designed to enhance China's global trade dominance. Beijing craves control over the world's critical shipping lanes. The Panama Canal has long been a symbol of American ingenuity and influence. Now, China plans to build a bigger, potentially more influential waterway right next door. This project will serve Chinese state-owned enterprises. It will facilitate the movement of Chinese goods. It will tighten Beijing's grip on global supply chains. The strategic motivations are crystal clear for those willing to see. This is economic warfare waged by other means, a classic CCP ploy. The free world must recognize this canal for what it is, a major escalation in China's quest for global hegemony. It is a direct challenge to freedom and democracy in the region. The sheer scale of this proposed Nicaraguan canal is breathtaking. The project carries an estimated price tag of $50 billion. This vast sum will be financed by Chinese state-controlled banks. The canal is planned to be approximately 172 miles in length. This colossal undertaking will involve excavating a massive channel across Nicaraguan territory. It is a project of immense engineering complexity, designed to serve China's ambitions. This new waterway aims to connect Nicaragua's Atlantic coast with its Pacific shores. It will carve through jungles, farmlands, and vital ecosystems. The proposed route is intended to accommodate the largest modern cargo ships. These are vessels too large even for the expanded Panama Canal. China envisions a canal that can handle its next generation of supertankers and container ships. This capacity is crucial for China's export-driven economy. It is also crucial for projecting its naval power across the globe. The ambition behind the canal's design is matched only by its potential for geopolitical disruption. Beijing is not simply building a canal, it is constructing a strategic choke point. The grand design serves a grander, more sinister strategy of global control. The dream of a Nicaraguan canal is not new. It is an idea that stretches back to the 19th century. For generations, engineers and empire builders have eyed Nicaragua's geography. They saw its lakes and rivers as a potential alternative to the Panama route. However, these ambitions have always faltered. They stumbled over political instability, financial hurdles, and immense engineering challenges. The history of the Nicaraguan Canal is a graveyard of failed schemes. The most recent and notorious failure was the HKND Group's attempt. In 2013, a little-known Chinese businessman named Wang Jing was granted an astonishing 50-year concession. His Hong Kong-Nicaragua Canal Development Investment Company promised to build and operate the canal. Yet beyond a few roughly cleared access roads, no significant construction ever materialized. The project quickly became mired in controversy and suspicion. Ultimately, in May 2024, the Nicaraguan Congress canceled the HKND concession. Now, with Xi Jinping's direct announcement, the Chinese Communist Party itself is taking the reins. This direct involvement makes the threat even more potent and undeniable. Xi Jinping's Nicaraguan Canal project is not an isolated venture. It is a critical piece of China's much larger global strategy, the Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI. The BRI is Beijing's ambitious program to finance and construct infrastructure across the world. However, it is far more than an economic development plan. It is a geopolitical tool. The BRI aims to create a new world order centered on China. It seeks to bind nations to Beijing through debt and dependency. The Nicaraguan Canal is a glittering jewel in this crown of global ambition. Beijing wants to expand its influence in Latin America, a region historically close to the United States. It aims to secure maritime trade routes critical for its economic survival and military expansion. The canal offers a strategic foothold in America's backyard. It is a clear demonstration of China's willingness to challenge the existing international order. China's influence in Latin America has been growing steadily for years. The Nicaraguan Canal fits seamlessly into this pattern of strategic encroachment. It is designed to create economic corridors that serve China's interests. Proponents of the Nicaraguan Canal, particularly the Ortega regime, paint a rosy picture. They claim the project will bring immense economic benefits to Nicaragua. They speak of tens of thousands of new jobs for Nicaraguan workers. They promise a massive boost to the nation's gross domestic product. Infrastructure development, including new roads and ports, is also touted as a major advantage. For a country as impoverished as Nicaragua, these promises sound like a lifeline. However, this vision of prosperity is likely a dangerous mirage. China's infrastructure projects around the world often come with hidden costs. The promised jobs frequently go to imported Chinese labor, not locals. The economic benefits tend to flow back to Chinese companies and lenders. Nicaragua risks accumulating massive debt to China. This debt can become a powerful tool of coercion. Nations that fall into China's debt trap often find themselves forced to cede control of strategic assets. The promise of economic salvation can easily turn into a nightmare of economic servitude. The Nicaraguan Canal, under the stewardship of an authoritarian regime and a predatory global power, is particularly vulnerable to these risks. The Ortega government has a track record of repression and mismanagement. China has a track record of exploiting vulnerable nations. The Nicaraguan Canal is explicitly positioned as a direct competitor to the Panama Canal. This is a deliberate challenge to a vital artery of global trade. The Panama Canal, even after its 2016 expansion, faces limitations. It cannot accommodate the very largest classes of modern ships. China's proposed Nicaraguan waterway aims to overcome these limitations. It is designed to handle the behemoth vessels that Beijing plans to deploy in the coming decades. This is a strategic move to outmaneuver and marginalize an existing Western-friendly choke point. Beijing argues that a new canal will offer an alternative route for global maritime trade. They claim it will reduce congestion in the Panama Canal. They suggest it could shorten shipping times and lower costs. These arguments may sound plausible on the surface. However, the primary beneficiary of this new route will be China itself. Chinese shipping lines will gain preferential access. Chinese exporters will enjoy reduced costs. The project is tailored to serve China's economic and strategic interests, not the broader global community. The grand vision of the Nicaraguan Canal comes with a terrible, hidden price. The potential environmental damage is catastrophic. The proposed route cuts directly through Lake Nicaragua. This is Central America's largest freshwater lake and a vital ecological treasure. Dredging and increased ship traffic threaten to pollute its waters. Saline intrusion could destroy its delicate freshwater ecosystem. Countless species of fish and wildlife are at risk. The project also involves clearing vast swaths of rainforest and wetlands, further devastating biodiversity and contributing to climate change. The social consequences are equally alarming. Thousands of Nicaraguan farmers and indigenous people protested against the threat of land seizures. They feared losing their homes, their livelihoods, and their ancestral lands. Under the repressive Ortega regime, these protests were often met with force. This new, state-backed Chinese project will undoubtedly revive these fears and injustices on an even larger scale. Critics rightly argue that the canal will displace tens of thousands of rural families. Their way of life will be irrevocably destroyed. Compensation, if any, is likely to be inadequate. The project has become a symbol of President Daniel Ortega's authoritarian rule. The completion of the Nicaraguan Canal, should China succeed, would trigger profound geopolitical shifts. It would fundamentally alter global shipping dynamics. The world's reliance on the Panama Canal would lessen. A new, major maritime route under Chinese influence would emerge. This shift would have far-reaching consequences for international trade patterns. It would also impact naval deployments and strategic calculations for nations across the globe. The balance of power in maritime affairs would tilt perceptibly towards Beijing. The strategic importance of the Panama Canal would inevitably be reduced. This waterway has long been vital for United States commerce and naval mobility. Its proximity and reliable operation have been key to American security interests in the Western Hemisphere. A competing Nicaraguan canal, effectively controlled by China, would directly challenge this. It would provide China with a strategic asset on America's doorstep. This development must be viewed with extreme concern by Washington. It represents a significant encroachment into a region of critical importance to U.S. national security. China's geopolitical influence in the Western Hemisphere would increase dramatically. The canal would serve as a powerful symbol of Beijing's growing presence and power. It would provide China with enhanced leverage over regional governments. The Nicaraguan Canal, under Xi Jinping's vision, could reshape global maritime trade. It is not merely an alternative shipping route, it is a statement of intent from Beijing. China seeks to control global commerce. This canal will give Beijing immense economic leverage. It will allow China to favor its own industries. Beyond trade, it solidifies China's influence in Latin America. This is a dangerous trend for freedom and self-determination. The future of global trade and regional influence hangs in the balance.